Okay, right. I just refreshed the settings. Thank God for that. So let's just very quickly go through number one again. Um, Business people expect you to be like a walking TED talk. They're used to business presentations. They're used to teachers going in and giving a kind of business-like talk. So, um, time is short, time is money, and even more so in the technological digital age that we're living in nowadays. Students are used to communicating on Messenger, they're looking at their phone, they're sending very short emails. One of the things I can suggest to actually address this problem, there is actually a website, it's a UNICEF website, where your students can tap onto the website and they actually take a challenge not to use their phones for a certain amount of time. And money, this means that water is donated by UNICEF for this time that they've been offline. And I think business people really go for the challenge, particularly young business students of mine. They love that. So that is one strategy to get them off their mobile devices for a short time. I'm going to move on because we've lost quite a bit of time. The second thing, again, I would say whether or not you're teaching general students, adults, or business students, engaging the child is really important. Making it fun, making them competitive. But I think the way in which we do this as teachers has to be slightly different. It has to be packaged in a different way. So with business individuals and adults, I would say we have to tell them why we're doing it. This is a game, this is a quiz, but you're learning this. The aims of this game is to take you to X. One of the, it's not really a game, it's an activity that I use with my students that's very popular, is taking a business English text, taking some of the key vocabulary out, and putting in some words like you could put names of foods in. For example, there's been a financial pizza, and the students then go text, and this is a speaking activity that we've done in groups or pairs. What word would fit fill that gap? The first time they do it, it's very difficult. Once they get into it, business students love this because this, again, it's very competitive and business students love it. In terms of quizzes, my business students at the end of the day love a quiz of just questions of, give me a synonym for financial. Give me an antonym for money. Money's a good example. Volatile, for example. And what I do is at the end of this, I say, right, 20 questions, and we go through the questions very quickly and get the answer. We have them in teams. They love that. It's also a great review. Games can also help to make students familiar with new items of vocabulary in a fun way. But as I say, I really think it's the packaging. We have to package it in an adult mode. So we don't say, oh, now we're going to have a fun game, we tell them it's an activity, and we tell them the aim of the activity, what that's going to achieve for. So although you like my visual, it might not be the right visual for business English students. Moving on now, number 3, drive the energy in your classroom. Business students are always easily distracted. They've got 20 other things on their minds. They may come into your class with a very low energy level. So what can we do to raise that energy level? Again, one thing that I've tried with, you can try this with kids, you can try with general English students, but it works very well with business English students if it's packaged and presented in the right way. I do quite a brain gym exercises with my students. And at the end of the session, I'll, if you at the end, I can give you a link to some materials you can download for this. So, brain gym activities, also Jin, I can never say the name, the Shin Jin Jitsu activities are very good memory, energy enhancing enhances in the classroom. So you have to monitor those energy levels, and I think most of the time the remedy is to actually change the pace of the lesson. If an activity is dying, go on to the next activity, keep them short, keep them engaged with different types of activities, and then you keep the energy levels up in your business classroom. Okay, going on to the next one. Inspiration and enthusing our students is obviously very important in all kinds of classes. But I find some very simple props, especially things like quotes, can really start a discussion, get the students engaged and involved in the class. So, for example, on the slide, there's an example of a quote. This particular slide I use with my students, and we've got about minutes of discussion out of it. The next stage, obviously, is to get the students to choose their own quotes. And my students love this. It's easy to set up. It's also a basis for presentation skills lessons. Students choose their own quotes, they present their impression of that quote, and then they open it to discussion for the rest of the class. I don't know how I'm doing for time here. Moving on. Business students expect much more coaching, I would say, than my other students. And by coaching, they need you to guide them in how they're going to study after the lesson, what they're going to do out of class. So we need a balance of activities. We need to create a menu. And one thing that I've tried recently is get the students to create their own e-portfolio for their learning. There's a very good website called Go Announce. Again, I'll be giving you the links at the end of the session. So the students then become their own monitors of their learning platform. So I see I'm running out of time. Let me move to the next one. Serving a tasty menu of varied activities is essential with business people. It seems like we're having a problem with the sound again. What I mean by a tasty menu, again, tasty for business professionals has to have a business element. It has to have some meaty content that they're going to take the bait with and run with and have discussions on. So a balance of lessons that foster knowledge, curation, and I see I'm running out of time, so can I just move on? I'm going to take it through to the last point.
Yeah, go to your last slide.
I wanted to end actually with my best of all time engaging activity for business English students. This is an amazing project-based activity and a winner. And I don't know if some of you may have heard of it, but it started off with a TED Talk. If you search for the Marshmallow Challenge, you'll find the TED Talk. And basically, students have some spaghetti, some string, some tape, and they have one marshmallow. And they have a fixed amount of time, I think it's something like 17 minutes. They have to create a structure with these tools. And it's an amazing activity for speaking and listening and collaboration and total engagement. This is the winner. So I don't want to take up too much time, Rob. I'm sorry we have the time. But if you Scout, I think, by Rob, just do a search, the Marshmallow Challenge. It's a great activity. Your students are going to love it. I'm out of here.